gear reviews, trip reports, DIYs, fails, and much more. I'm traveling in a purposeful manner towards a vague destination. Come explore with me. Hey guys, and welcome back for another week on Piff Explores. So this week I'm going to be telling you guys about this super awesome card game that I was lucky enough to get a beta test pack for. Alright, so the game is called Gone Caving. The basic structure is that you have 6 cards in your hand, and then every time it's your turn you draw a card and play or discard a card. So you always keep the 6 cards in your hand. Let's talk about the cards and general gameplay.
So let's go over what the basics of this game is. So there are 102 cards in the deck. Now these cards look different on each side, so we're going to go through what each card means. So the first cards you need to find are entrance cards. You're going to have to find these by drawing out of your deck, or hopefully getting one in your hand. Once you find an entrance card, you can begin building passage. There are 3 types of passage cards: survey, formations, and animals. Now these types don't actually matter until later. There's also the illustrious big room card, which gives you 200 meters. While you're caving, there are things that could trip you up, such as a passage that is too tight, a vertical passage, or a sump. If one of these cards are played on you by one of the people you're playing with, you'll need to get out of it. To get out of a too tight passage, you need to crawl. To get out of a vertical passage, you need a rope. And to get out of a sump, you need a scuba tank. Now, if you get lucky, you might find a borehole. This card removes any of those challenge cards. You also might draw a yellow card. If you draw any of these cards, simply follow the directions on the card, which usually results in you losing a turn. If you get any of the hero cards, which are these purple cards, they make you immune to certain things, so let's go over those. The cartographer, biologist, and geologist all double your points. So if you have a formation passage, which is represented by this symbol here, and you're a geologist, you get double those points. Similarly for biologist and cartographer, you just need to look for the symbol in that corner. Now, if you get one of the other hero cards, the cave diver, the skinny caver, or the vertical caver, these make you immune to certain challenge cards. If another player would play the sump card on you, but you're the cave diver, that sump doesn't affect you because you're a cave diver. Now, while you're exploring your cave, you might realize there are some footprints in your passage. If this card gets played on you, the person who plays it gets to steal a passage card because you found footprints there. It turns out they had actually been to that passage first. To conclude a single hand of the game, you need to find an exit card. Once you've found an entrance and an exit, that hand is done, but that doesn't mean the game is over.
So a little bit about this game. So something super awesome about this game is that it was created by cavers as a long-term fundraiser for the NSS, or the National Speleological Society, which can help the NSS with conservation efforts, help them purchase more caves, and keep the headquarters up and running, which is awesome. Let's talk about the game. The first time I played this game, I didn't read the directions, which is a bad idea. I'm one of those people who just kind of likes to learn as they play. Not a good idea for this game. Read all of the directions, because there are things that you might want to know, like that if you get stuck in a sump, you can self-rescue by following some steps, and then you don't have to deal with the sump anymore, which is great, because I got stuck in a sump for 15 turns. Another thing is that, so the game recommends like playing to 1,000 points. So you play multiple hands, keep track of your points, and so the game recommends you play until 1,000 points, and then whoever gets there first is the winner. I would up that to maybe 5,000. I guess it depends on like who you're playing with, how you play, but how we were playing, each hand went on a little longer than maybe anticipated, and in one round, one of the players got 1,300 points, so in like one round, they hit 1,000, we were done. We never got more than 2 hands in before hitting that 1,000, and then it was like, game over, do we want to play another game? The game also has like lots of different ways that you can play, so you can do, we're all in this together, where anything affects everybody, and so you all have to deal with the problems and the solutions together, which I kind of really like as a caver, because that's kind of like how caving is. Like if you get to a vertical passage, you work through it as a team. So I really like that mode of gameplay, because I think it's more realistic to caving, but it's also like less competitive. So if you want to just like have a chill vibe kind of thing, then it's super cool. So basically, I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was super fun and competitive, and I liked that it was a caving card game, because I like caving, and it's a card game, and I think it also can help get people who maybe have never been caving before interested in caving, or maybe people who are cavers but have never surveyed before interested in surveying. There were a couple of things that were unclear just from the directions that I actually ended up texting the person who gave me the card deck, who created the game, to ask about. So like when you have the discard pile, the directions state to have a face-up discard pile. Okay, but what they don't tell you is that you can't pick up from that discard pile. Actually, it makes the game way too easy if you can pick up from the discard pile. Also, I'm still not sure if we were doing entrances and exits right. So that is my short review of the new game, Gone Caving. Once I have order information and stuff, I'll be sure to add those links down below. But for now, please support the NSS. I'm super excited for this game to be made and be published, and honestly, I think it could end up like in Target someday. It's just super fun. I think that people who like games will like it. I think people who like caves will like it. I think it really is a good representation of all of those things, and I'm just super excited to be able to share it with you guys. Thank you for the creators for giving me a beta pack to review. That's all we have for this week. Be sure to like and subscribe. Tell your friends about Gone Caving, and I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.